Hello, everyone, and welcome again. This is another of my foundation videos, and it's a continuation on the previous video. So in the previous video, I talked a lot about how healing is healing wounds, and it is basically removing pain, right? And how not only mental and emotional, but also there's some physical component to it, right? Now, not only when we heal this happens, but when we start healing, what happens is we're stepping more into our power. And just think about when we're in our wounds, it really makes us see that we are not worthy, in a sense, or that we're not able to overcome this, right? And when we heal our wounds, what happens is that we gain power and control over our own lives. And you switch from being, let's say, angry or anxious or having low self-esteem to believing that you can accomplish this, that you can overcome this obstacle that is in front of you, right? Instead of when you have an event that happens that's very difficult, except of seeing it as this miserable life that's out to get you, you see it as a challenge, an opportunity to learn, to grow. And that is more aligned with stepping into our power. You become much more in control over your life and the direction you're going to be able to go. And there's a whole lot more to this than just overcoming our wounds. Is about stepping into the power that is you, right? It's about connecting to this willpower, the soul part of you that is the captain of his own ship, right? So here we see that when we heal the wounds, we step more into our power and our willpower, right? And we start realizing that we are much more in control over our lives than what we did before. So before, probably most of us would accept that we are responsible for our decisions that we make and which direction we go in life. And we can also say that I can decide what's important, what's not important, what I value. But what about when it comes to our thoughts and our emotions? Most of us, we, in a sense, don't want to own up to being the one that decides these things. And not to say that you're always in charge of your own thoughts, because sometimes there's thoughts that come to us, and I really don't believe that they are our own thoughts sometimes. But see it compared to what it was before, where you were in your wound, and then you saw, in a sense, like a very cloudy vision of life, which is like that I'm this poor, fragile being that is a victim of a cruel life. And once you heal it, you can say that I decided to experience all of this, and all this didn't happen to me, it happened for me. Which is a big shift of perception, right? And that's another thing that we need to start seeing, is that we are much more in charge of the way that we see things that we want to admit. And that is another thing that we have that happens because we're so scared of stepping into our power and taking control of our lives that we want to basically dismiss that we are the ones that have basically decided most of our lives and what we have experienced, even the stuff that we can say that it was negative, right? And this goes back to being in the wound, right? If you see it that way, you're in your wound. You haven't learned your lesson yet. You haven't stepped into your power. You haven't taken responsibility, for what has happened. Because I've had accidents, right? But I understand now that I played a huge role in these accidents. And these accidents didn't happen to me, but they happened for me. And that is a big, big shift when we start seeing things that way. But we're so fearful, right? We're so fearful of what we have as far as like the personal power that we have over our lives. We're so scared of that. And it also has to do with self-esteem, right? We believe that we, in a sense, like, we don't deserve this, right? We're not worthy of this. And that's a wound, right? You have this perception that you're a flawed being, that you're not in charge of your life, and this is life that's basically like, playing with you, right? Like a puppet. But again, right? It's a wound. All this is about, the cloudy vision that we have when we're in our wounds, right? And this prevents us from stepping into our power. And it'll come eventually a point where we'll have to say that this is not a way to live, and there's a better way. We can deal with this. We can step into our power, take charge over your life, and you can start being the real captain of your own life. And what else happens outside of your body in your life, at the end, doesn't matter, right? Because it's always happening again for you, right? So we're going to need courage if we're going to be trying to live the best life that we can. We're going to have to overcome the sense that we don't deserve it. We're going to have to really go and tap into the determination and the ability to change how you see things. And at the end, this is the power of healing. It transforms a negative into a positive. So, and it changes pain to joy. And this is mental transmutation, right? It is transforming energy, and you are the one that is doing this. You are the one that is transforming this. And it's a gift to yourself when you do this. It is a beautiful gift when you can give yourself some healing. Because all this now becomes more a pleasurable experience, an unforgettable experience, and it's all happening for us again, not to us. Now, I hope that everybody liked this, and I hope you continue watching. There's going to be a couple more videos on the foundation now that I've said most of the stuff that I wanted to cover. I'm going to soon be able to start just talking about stuff that I really want to talk about. But I still have a few more foundation videos. So if you have any comments, please leave your ideas or your questions or anything. And like the video if you did like it. And until next time.